Hey everyone, this is Johnny from South Jersey Vapors. Today, I'm going to bring you a special edition review for you. It's going to be Attack of the Clones Panzer Edition. I have two different Panzer Clones in my hand. One is from a local brick and mortar store. The manufacturer is Vapetech. The other one is from Fasttech, also known as Slowtech, because you're going to be waiting a very long time for it. When we put two of these together, hand in hand, we realize there's some major differences between the two of these. Even though they're both Panzer Clones, there's a very big differences between the two of them. So we're going to dive down, show you those differences. Alrighty, so here we have it, Attack of the Clones Panzer Edition. So, on the left you're going to see that I have the Fasttech version, and on the right I'm going to be having the Vapetech version. One of the big differences that I see here is the engraving. If you take a look at the engraving, this one kind of looks like hand engraved, almost like a stencil on there, whereas this one is solid lettering. Huge difference. The one from Fasttech is a little bit sloppy. If you feel over top of it, they're roughly about the same engraving. This one seems to be a little bit deeper, but not too much. Again, the 300 or 350 sleeve is roughly about the same. You can't really screw that up. This one just seems like it's a little more etched than the other one. This one seems a little more brushed on the actual indentations there, but nothing too fancy. The top cap, or the one of the extension sleeves that it has on there, roughly the same that I have right there on the top cap. Roughly the same exact thing. But here's the main differences between the two. As you can see here, the indentation is a little bit smaller than the one from Vapetech. And the bottom button indentations are completely different. If you put these two side by side, you can also see that the one from Vapetech is a little bit taller than the other one. The weight of these two as well, the one from Vapetech is a little bit heavier and this one's a little bit lighter. And also the shine is a little bit different as well. It's a little different material. But all in all, you know, it is a clone. The bottom, let's start taking these apart and show you the top cap and the bottom button. So I'm going to flip these upside down for now, just to show you some of the major differences between the two of them. Alrighty, so let's take a look at the one from Vapetech. As you can see here, there's almost like another tier above the actual threading for the top cap. And also, another big pro in this case is that it actually has a adjustable contact pin within the Delrin. The Delrin has threading on there, and you can actually thread that out to adjust for your contact. Also, now, as you can see here on the Fasttech version, I cannot move the Delrin at all. It is not threaded whatsoever. So the actual contact pin is stuck in a certain position. So if you have a short type of 510 connection on there, you probably won't be able to fire it. I wasn't able to fire one of my Omega clones that I have. It does have an adjustable battery rattle pin. It's also the contact pin as well for the battery. It does adjust on there, so you can adjust for battery rattle. And this one also has that same pin. This one is silver plated brass, whereas this one, as you can see, is just regular old brass. So let's move to the bottom cap here. As you can see, the actual pin itself is completely different than the one from Fasttech. It actually sits nicely below the actual button deck itself, and it also has an O-ring to protect for the battery. This one just has Delrin. It sits below the Delrin, and there's a nice big well in there as well. Take a look at it on the side. Again, a little different material. This one kind of has almost like a brushed satin type of finish, whereas this one is nice and shiny. If we take a look at the bottom button is almost completely different type of lettering and also a little different engraving. It looks as though that the one from Fasttech is a little bigger of the picture or logo, whereas this one's a little bit smaller. And the bottom button on this one is nice and buttery smooth as well. whereas this one is nice and buttery smooth as well. How you remove the spring from the Fasttech one is you just unscrew this contact pin from the bottom button, and you can unscrew it and then it comes out as well. What I like to do is just like to get a finger tight. Nothing too tight on there. So it also has reverse threading for the lock. For the button, it actually stops. It's not like a hamster wheel whatsoever. I kind of like that feature. Just saying. Whereas this one, as I reverse thread this one, just keeps on going. Keeps on going. It's like the Energizer Bunny. So that's the major differences between the top cap and the bottom button. So for the voltage drop test, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same battery and the same atomizer. And the atomizer I'm going to use today is my Nimbus. This is a roughly fresh charged 18650 VTC5. So let's go ahead and pop it in the Fasttech, or as some people like to call it, the slow tech version. Alright, so let's see what this is dropping in at. One of the other things that I forgot to mention as well is that the top cap has a little bit different design. I guess the gear that is embedded onto the top cap is a little bit wider than it is on the Vapetech one, and the material is a little bit different for the engraving as well. So let's go ahead and do the voltage drop. I also found the same type of threading problem that Ed did with his. I just had to do it a couple times with a couple different atomizers. So let's go ahead and see what this is reading at. 4.08. So let's go ahead and put this on. So let's go ahead and put the Nimbus on there. The Nimbus is I think this is roughly coming out at 0.4, 0.37, 0.73, 0.68, or 3.68, 3.75, 3.75, 3.73. So it's roughly around a 0.4. When I first got it out of the box, it was roughly around a 0.2, so it's probably a little dirty. When I was doing the test earlier, I was getting around a 0.2. But as you can see, it's a little bit inconsistent. It's dropping at a steady rate. So let's go ahead and put this on the Vapetech version. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the battery, because I'm going to use the same battery, same everything. And I'm also going to press fit this, because this does have a removable or adjustable 510 connection pin. Nice and tight. And we're good to go. So let's go ahead and adjust this and see how it fits. So again, let's go ahead and see what comes in at. 4.07, 4.07. 3.5, 3.59, 3.55, 3.57, 3.58. So it's roughly about the same voltage drop. And this one Ed has had for a couple weeks and it's been pretty dirty. And this one I have been messing with it a little bit, so it's probably a little bit dirty as well. I did not clean it as soon as it came out of the package. So I bet you when both of these are really nice and clean, you should be able to get around like a 0.2 voltage drop. So those are the Attack of the Panzer Clones, and let's go out for the wide shot and let you know what my final thoughts are. So that's Attack of the Clones Panzer Edition. So I'm going to go over the pros and cons of the Fasttech version because I have it in my hand right now. One of the major cons that I have against this piece is that it doesn't have a free-floating contact pin. If you have an atomizer that has a short 510 connection on there, it won't be able to make contact. There's no way to adjust that. Right now I'm currently using a Nimbus clone, and I was able to adjust the contact pin on the actual atomizer to be able to make a connection. So that is a major con for me. It has just regular brass contacts on there, and it does have a spring switch. I'm kind of a fan of the magnetic switches, but I'm going to test this one out for a little while and see how I like it with just the spring on there. The weight is a little bit different. It's a little bit lighter. I believe it's because it has a different material. As you can also see, the Vapetech version is a little shinier than the actual Fasttech version. I just got this one in today, so I barely used it, but I did take it apart and completely take it apart, and just to see what it was made of, what the subtle differences. But all in all, it's a really nice mod. So back over to the Vapetech version. The engraving is a lot different than the engraving on the Fasttech version. But all in all, it's really solid piece. A little too pricey for my standpoint, that's just my opinion. One of the major cons, as you can see here, is the firing ring doesn't stop whatsoever. I kind of feel like I'm on a hamster wheel when I keep spinning that. But all in all, Ed's giving me the bird right now as well. I'm kind of doing both back and forth on both our videos. All in all, it's a solid piece. It's great to support your local vape shops as well. Like Ed was kind of saying in his review, sometimes you just have to dive down, really think about, can you order it online somewhere cheaper? Probably you can, because that's what I did in this case. But then there's sometimes what I do is I do buy that product from a local vape shop, because you got to support your local community. Without these vape shops, you're not going to be able to go in there, hold it in your hand, and see if it's the actual mod for you. So that's it for today. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please comment in our box below, like us on Facebook, or give us an email or a Facebook message. And stay tuned, because there's going to be a lot more great products that we're going to be reviewing. And have a great day, and vape safe.